Hi, I'm Adam Nelson here with Tony Romeo with Quickly. Now, what exactly does Quickly do in the industry?
Quickly is a mobile marketing solutions provider that helps connect consumers with property information on a yard sign, from a property they're interested in. So, for example, consumers can pull out their cell phone and without downloading any software, without any complicated use of their cell phone, they can quickly access information on the property, not only my client's properties, but any property in the entire neighborhood.
Wow, okay. So, for example, via texting, or how does that?
That's right. So, for example, if the consumer were to text the word price to 59559, which is the same code on every sign, what they get back is an either or. They can either text the address of the property they're in front of, or they get a link, a GPS link, which when they click it, works on any phone with GPS, opens up a page which shows them the 5 closest properties that they're currently around their current location.
Now, do you see this being the next big thing that agents are going to be able to take advantage of?
Absolutely, and what we're starting to see in the trend in mobile industry is away from software downloads to the phone and towards building in the browser, because there's a common denominator. There's literally hundreds of different mobile platforms, different cell phones, Garmin, Dell, iPhone, BlackBerry phones, Google phones, literally hundreds of these phones out there. And instead of trying to come up with a separate software solution for every single phone, there's a common denominator, and that's the browser, that's the web page. And we're building all of our technology into the web page so that we have a future for all phones that come out that are ever developed and released.
So we're actually, QuantumDigital is having a real estate summit in January 19th through the 20th in Austin, Texas. Now, you're going to be speaking there. Can you give us just a short clip of what you're going to be talking about?
Sure, absolutely. What I think is really important to understand as we move forward is that the consumer uses their cell phone differently than they use a computer, and that's one thing that hasn't been looked at very carefully in the last couple of years as a lot of big brokerages take on mobile solutions. Consumers use their computer as browsers. When consumers use their cell phones, they're hunters. So browsers versus hunters. I'm going to talk about the difference between those two, and there's a big difference, huge difference in terms of how do we market to a consumer if they're using their cell phone differently than they're using a computer, and there's a big distinction between the two. And finally, what kind of phones are in the markets and what kind of capabilities do those phones have? And I mentioned a little bit earlier, the trend is away from building software for specific phones and towards building technology that works inside the browser of the cell phone. It makes things a lot smoother, a lot quicker for everyone. Consumer, you as a client, and for us it's easier to produce a solution that works on every phone.
Now, do you see the industry growing more towards smartphones then? Is that what you're building your technology for? Not just a regular everyday flip phone?
The writing's on the wall. Smartphones in the next couple of years will probably take over the market. Right now they're about 35 to 45% of the market, depending on which phones you count as smartphones. There are still some stupid phones, I guess, out there, but as we move forward, you're going to see a lot of folks taking on phones with more capabilities. And the demographic last year was 38 and under preferred a text message. This year, 2009, 42 and under prefer a text message instead of a phone call.
So it is growing.
Absolutely.
At a fast rate.
Absolutely. Next year it might be 50, I text my mom and she calls me back. I'm working on her, but there's still a lot of folks are starting to pick up text messages. It is hands down the quickest way of communicating. You can't beat it with a phone call and email. It is by far the fastest way to communicate. It's unintrusive and it's very efficient, so that's why people like it. And the business world has really caught on and used it.
Well, Tony, I look forward to seeing you and hearing more what you have to say at QuantumDigital at the Real Estate Summit, January 19th through the 20th in Austin, Texas.
Thank you, Evan.